My fault, guys. My hand just hit the button too high. What's going on, guys? Just a second to none. I'm your host, Mike. It is another SEC week of full sports. The weekend is over. Teams have won. Some not so happy. Some happy. I got my thumbs up today for Kentucky finally going down to beat Mississippi State since 2008. We did it. We'll get into that later. But before then, guys, what's going on? Indy, how you doing, man?
I'm okay. It was a up and down game yesterday, and competitiveness is what we're looking for. So I'm not upset.
I got that. And Chris, how you doing? Your U.S. Marine Corps. Chris, where was you stationed at, man?
I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina at MCAS New River. That's Marine Corps Air Station New River.
What you do in the Marines, Chris, if you don't mind me asking?
I was a helicopter mechanic.
Okay. What on what platform?
The CH-46 Echo, the SR&M version. It's the twin prop. Looks like the two whirly-birds on top. But, if you see me, I'm rocking back and forth in my chair today. Have a little autism going on for beating my head against the wall against this Vanderbilt football team. But, hey, it's a great day. It's Sunday. It's beautiful outside. I'm sitting outside enjoying the weather. So, yeah, life goes on.
All right. Matt, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining in with us. How you doing?
Doing good.
You okay, man?
Yeah, doing good. Feeling good.
Okay. You just wake up, Matt?
No.
I wish I did, because I'm ready for a nap, man.
Somebody got an echo.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the echo is actually. Hold on for a second. Let me make sure that it's not coming from my computer. I'm not really sure who has the echo. Is that better?
Is it me?
I don't know. Hold on, Matt, 1 second. Is it still an echo?
Nope.
Not an echo. Matt?
Yeah.
I think you're the corporate, man. I think you have the echo.
I don't know. Oh,
I'm
man.
not sure. But we go just keep it moving. Matt, hey, how about going out and coming back in?
All right.
Okay, all right. We're gonna keep rolling. So, man, SEC football is week 9 is in the book, guys. Chris, I know you got some stuff to put out. I'm probably gonna let you close with us tonight with your monologue.
You got about 30 minutes for me to go on this tirade.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I was listening to you talk yesterday, man, and you look like you was pretty serious about your thoughts for Vandy.
I've defended this guy long enough. I'm off that track.
I got you, man. I got you. Wow, man. Well, hey, it was some good games yesterday, man. I'm trying to look for something over here, video clips, something like that. I'm not sure if they even over here no more for the ads. Well, I tell you what, we'll get to an ad before we close out today. How about that?
All right.
Yeah.
Unless you're able to throw one in there.
We got the Icy Breeze in there. The new Bones commercial is in there.
Let's do the Icy Breeze. Can you throw on the Icy Breeze before we get into the game?
Yeah, but let's get a word from one of our sponsors, Icy Breeze.
I might need that
Icy
myself.
Breeze is the world's first portable air conditioner and cooler. A premium ice cooler that doubles as an eco-friendly portable air conditioner. This is not a swamp cooler, just blowing air across ice. Over 60 parts and components allow Icy Breeze to achieve what no other product in the world can do. The secret behind the Icy Breeze is an innovative design that circulates chilled ice water through a heat exchanger in the lid, replacing the Freon used in most ACs. Fresh air is drawn from hidden vents in the top of the cooler, pulled across the exchanger, and chilled down to 35 degrees cooler than the outside air. A 3-speed fan control delivers Icy Breeze's dry, cold air up to 25 miles per hour, just like a car AC. And a stay-put flex hose directs the breeze in any direction. Wherever you need it, Icy Breeze helps you beat the heat.
Well, I think sooner or later I can actually use that. to my
yeah,
advantage.
I'm going to take that flex hose and I'm going to turn it away from some of my players on the Vanderbilt sideline because they don't deserve to be cooled off right now.
And they ain't because they ain't that hot though, huh?
No,
I guess not.
That would
That
be
is
nice
true.
for a nice little tailgate, that ice.
Oh, it would be nice for a tailgate. Yeah, absolutely. I guess that's because that's the same one that Dion used, right?
is he still using it on his team? His
I don't
team
know.
ain't too hot either.
They're not hot
They
neither
cooled
at
them
all.
down. That's what it was.
That probably so. That's probably what it was. They can definitely use a little heat out there with Colorado. That's for sure because they're playing Colorado ball, and everybody knows that that's not good ball whatsoever.
Nope.
So not at all. So hey, let's just get into our first game of the day. We're gonna just talk about the Georgia and the Missouri game. Indy, what do you think about the ball game yesterday?
Well, I'm not upset. I much rather would have liked a W in Athens, but that's a tough place to win. 10-10 at half. Both teams look pretty strong. Luther Burden did really well. He rolled his ankle. That was pretty much part of the downfall. But the defense was really strong for Mizzou. Georgia had those 2 takeaways that pretty much sealed the deal. But I'm not upset. Some people said that Mizzou was going to go down 22.5 and kept it close to 9. It wasn't a bad game, and I feel pretty confident going into this next weekend against Tennessee.
I'm cheering for you guys, just so you know, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I think everybody on this today is rooting for Missouri to knock off Tennessee. I think you guys may come out with a chip on your shoulder, showing that you did. Now I'm looking at it, and the what was that? Oh, Brady Cook, he threw for 212 yards yesterday. He had that 1 touchdown, and then, but like you said, they had those 2 interceptions. That hurts, man.
Yeah.
And when you're playing a team like Georgia, you can't afford to lose a turnover battle. And I think that was the difference of the ball game. I mean, like you said, you guys only lost by 9 points, and I'm pretty sure people kind of felt like you guys were going to get blown out. Chris, what's your thoughts?
Well, I said all year that Missouri looked like that team that if there was going to be a team that beat Georgia in the regular season, it would be Missouri. I don't think I was wrong on that. They kept it close, had their chances, but Georgia's just Georgia. And for me, the difference in that game was early in the year when Georgia had injury problems and they were missing 9 and 10 starters every game, and they were playing those other guys and creating that depth.
Yep.
That's the difference between a program like Georgia and a program like Missouri, where Missouri doesn't have that type of depth. Georgia does, and I think that was the difference in the game.
Absolutely. Matt, did you have a chance to watch that game, any?
I watched part of it. Missouri played a heck of a game. I mean, but like Chris said, Georgia was just too much. I mean, Missouri probably played about as good as you could play to, have a chance against, Georgia.
I mean, Georgia, in my opinion, while they only won by 9 points yesterday, I mean, those guys are shaping up to, which we'll talk about too as well, but it seems like the SEC East and SEC West are locked up. I think it's going to be Georgia, and I think it's going to be Alabama from the West is going to represent in the SEC championship. But still a little football to go, and I think between Tennessee and Missouri, I think those guys are playing for second place in the East. So that should be really interesting moving down the stretch as well too. So we're gonna get into the next ball game, which is the I had to watch the LSU and Alabama on my phone. So Chris, what do you think about that game? First of all, is he hurt or did he get up and walk off?
He was removed from the game under concussion protocol.
Oh, okay.
So that is a concern for LSU going forward. I don't know how severe it is, just that he was removed for concussion protocol, but they got a good backup in Nussmeier. So it's remained to be seen what difference that's going to make for them.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I was expecting Alabama to. So was Alabama just really on that level last night, or was it a combination of being LSU, just kind of being not all that great last night?
LSU just has no defense. Offensively, they play with anybody in the country.
Yeah.
Defensively, that you can't blame Jaden Daniels for the LSU defense being bad.
You can't. I mean, they gave up 4. When the last time I seen it, and I didn't go back and check, but last time I seen it, they gave up 4 rushing touchdowns to Milrose. I mean, he beat him with his legs. It's like no one made the adjustments at halftime to actually say, okay, this is the guy that's beating us, and this is who we need to stop if we want to win the ball game. And I don't think those halftime adjustments was actually made in order for that to happen.
And that's
Yeah,
fair.
I think
I do think Jaden Daniels should have locked up the Heisman last night. There may be some debate if he misses a game or two,
Yeah.
whether he should win it or not. But you're putting up just about 400 yards in total offense against an Alabama defense.
That's not bad.
That Alabama team that's top 20 nationally in defense, and you put up over 400, just about 400 yards. I think that's more impressive than what Michael Penix did, putting up the numbers he did against the number 117 defense.
Washington's playing ball, man. they keep finding a way to win. Yep. And I think so. I actually took USC out of my top 25 this week. I didn't keep them in. So
speaking of top 25s, I do have Georgia number 1 right now.
I put Georgia number 1 too.
But I also have 2 3-loss teams in USC and LSU in there because those teams can score at will, and as long as you score, you have a chance. They could beat just about anybody in the country.
Yeah.
If they can get a defensive stop. So for me, they have to be in the top 25 because they're that good. So beyond that, hey, I got Georgia number 1. I got Alabama currently at number 7.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Actually, I think I put them at number 7 too this week too, is because I think with of course that didn't really affect when Oklahoma lost. It didn't really affect Alabama a lot because they was ahead of them. But I think Alabama's definitely moving in the right direction. I think it's going to take for them to win the SEC championship for those guys to be considered even for the playoffs.
Right.
But once again, that's still to be seen because Georgia's still working.
I do think the SEC only gets 1 team in this year.
So it's got to be Alabama, Georgia then.
It's going to be whoever wins that SEC championship game.
So you don't think it was? You don't. What's up, Matt?
Let's just say Alabama beats Georgia and Georgia's undefeated. Then Georgia still gets in because they're
I don't think so.
like they did a couple of years ago. Alabama beat them in the SEC championship game, and then Alabama gets in and Georgia gets in. You'll have 2.
I get that, but this season is different from that season where you have the Washington, the Florida State, the Ohio State. I don't see any way possible the SEC gets 2 teams in.
And I think that's going to be the interesting part of it, just to see how it all closes out at the end of the year. But I think, like Matt was saying, I think a couple of years ago, it was almost like a lock that you was going to get 2 SEC teams in it. And I think we had two in more than once as well, too. But as Chris just pointed out, I think the teams up top, I think they're good enough that that they will hopefully they will make it competitive in the playoffs itself. That they don't.
I actually think there's too many good teams this year for the SEC to get 2 in. Like he said, if Alabama beats Georgia, they're going to fall behind the winner of Oregon and Washington. They're going to be behind the winner of Ohio State and Michigan. They're going to be behind the winner of Florida State. It's going to be tough.
But Georgia's better than Florida State. Georgia's better than Oregon.
they might be, but in terms of what the committee's going to see and how that all falls out, you're not going to leave out a conference champion for somebody that was runner-up.
And let me just add Milroe. Hey, I tell you what, Alabama's playing as good as. I mean, they're finding ways to win. I mean,
Getting better.
they're undefeated in the
They are,
SEC
man.
West. I mean, after that first loss, I mean, they've played. I know it's not been pretty, but Alabama's just playing Alabama football. I mean, Milroe, like you said, with 4 rushing touchdowns last night. I mean, he's
And-
They
growing.
barely lost that game too. It's not like they got blown out.
Yeah,
No.
So Alabama's a good team.
Alabama's a good team, man. Yep.
There's another SEC team that just keeps lurking around.
But see, I don't see Ole Miss getting that far up though, unless something drastic happens. If that's who you're talking about,
They're in the top 10.
yeah,
If Alabama were to happen to lose the game,
that's true.
they're ahead of Alabama. They go to the SEC championship and then play Georgia twice. They play them this week, and then they play them again in the SEC championship.
Yeah, but don't Alabama have the head-to-head
Well, they do have a
tiebreaker?
tiebreaker. So even if
Yeah.
they both have 2 losses, that'd be a stretch. But that team just keeps hanging around.
They just keep hanging around.
Yeah.
Yep, that is true. So yeah, so Alabama was able to knock off LSU
Yep.
42-28. So I mean, as Matt says, man, both of Matts, they both says Alabama just finds a way to continue to win ball games, and they're not the same team. And the committee should take a look at that. That they're not the same team that lost to Texas, and so
Right.
they definitely gonna keep that in mind. Next game, speaking of Ole Miss, they pulled out a nail biter against A&M, so at home. So
They about messed around and lost that game.
they sure did.
Mhm.
Yep. And I think A&M know that they should have had that ball game yesterday, and that missed field goal.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Ole Miss had them down 2 scores.
Yeah, but A&M didn't go away though.
Yeah, Ole Miss started playing around with them and let them get back in contention.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, Chris, and rest of you guys. When you're trying to prove something to the committee and you want to make sure that you can check all the blocks, you can't be that dominant team and let teams hang around and giving them a chance. If you're gonna finish a team off, you got to finish them off. And I don't think they did that for whatever reason. But Ole Miss looked good, and I don't want to take anything away from those guys and what Lane Kiffin is doing down there. Jason Dart had 387 yards yesterday. Not a bad day. Yeah.
Ole Miss did this stuff last year when they went 8-1, 7-1, 8-1,
I think so.
and they tailed off at the end of the last few games. So that's something to keep in mind. But like Chris said, Ole Miss they're a good team. I mean, they could.
Definitely hanging around.
At the beginning of the year, we mentioned Quinshon Junkins, and I don't really think he's had the breakout year that everyone in our group thought that he would have. But he messed around and got 3 touchdowns yesterday. It looked like it was 3 rushing touchdowns as well. I don't think he caught a rushing one. Yeah, but I mean, he played ball yesterday, and when his team needed him to be a big time running back, he was a big time running back yesterday against Texas A&M. Texas A&M, man, those guys are not a pushover. So for Ole Miss to be able to actually win that football game, I said that a lot about them guys, but also it took some help from Texas A&M on missing a field goal for those guys to win that ball game. So, they got to take their hats off to those guys as well, too. SEC is looking good this year, man. I mean, I think the first part of the year, I think.
Hey.
What?
Speak for your deadgum self.
I know. Well, hey, and Chris, I know exactly what you're saying, too, as well.
I don't think you do. Because
I
you're one
think
of the
I know
dudes
exactly.
going bowling, and I'm not.
I know, right? So yeah, that's true too. Texas A&M lost to 38-35 to Ole Miss last night. Ole Miss is moving on to 5-1, and the Aggies are 5-4, looking for a chance to go to a bowl game. I think they'll make it. I think that's one of them teams that is on that's on the cuff of making. Missouri's going bowling, and they're probably going to get a good bowl too as well.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, I know, right? Kentucky's barely got one, so we'll have to see how that goes. Next ball game is. Anybody else got anything on that? I don't think it's.
No, but I
Go
got
ahead,
something
Matt.
to throw out that I didn't throw out earlier.
Okay, go ahead.
I got a shout out to Cody Schrader.
Okay.
Looking tough, man. That dude, he's tough.
Oh, dude,
very proud of him.
he's a running back. He's good, man.
The former JUCO walk-on.
He was a JUCO, huh?
He walked on
Yeah,
at
he
a
went to-
JUCO.
Wow. And then look at him, dude. That guy's a running back, man. He's really good. I actually really, really enjoy watching him. Not against Kentucky, I didn't. But now that he's not playing Kentucky, I enjoy watching him play.
I will
Yeah,
compare him
those
to
big boys out there.
Yeah.
I will compare him to a current NFL running back. He reminds me so much of McCaffrey.
Oh wow!
Wow,
That's big
that-
time.
Hey, that's some big shoes, man.
Yes, he reminds me so much of McCaffrey.
Hey, what year is he?
He's like a 6-year, I think.
Okay,
So he
so
went to Trinity State.
this is it for him then, huh?
Yeah, this is his last show.
Good. So Kentucky don't have to see him no more. Move along. Move along. There's nothing to see here, folks, at all.
Yeah.
Well, the next ball game that doesn't really need a whole lot of talking about is Tennessee took care of UConn, 59-3. They were supposed to. So, what can you really say about Tennessee?
Well,
Yeah.
let's just say their defense got 3 consecutive
Yes.
three
Absolutely.
consecutive touchdowns on defense.
Yeah.
First time in program history that their defense scored 3 in one game. It happened 3 consecutive possessions, and they got Nico into the ball game finally.
And Nico went 5 for 9 for 86 yards and a touchdown.
He did not look bad.
They got a couple of quarterbacks in the ball game yesterday. They got
And hey, I have a guest.
Hey,
Tennessee.
hey, he's right on
this
time,
guy
boy.
on the stage.
Right on time.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
Hey.
Dude? Looks like a
Look at
little
that guy.
sunshine and water in the background.
Yeah. What y'all think about that background?
That's not bad, man. I think I see a
Right.
Hey, I'm jealous. So if I see a gator coming up behind you, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Hey, but look here though. Look. Oh, boys, still representing down here in the Sunshine State.
That looks
Stop.
so. Hey, Dustin, you was right on time. We just was talking about the 7-2 Vols as you just put. You want to talk about the ball game yesterday?
Yeah, well, man, I'll be honest. They done what they supposed to do to a bad UConn team. They were 1-6 coming in, 1-7 coming in yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear an echo?
I think it's Matt.
there's an echo.
It's Matt Short.
Okay.
Short dog.
If I mute his mic, the echo goes away.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll need it. Okay.
So whenever he wants to talk, we'll just have to unmute him.
I
Okay.
got you. No, Tennessee, they did what they supposed to do. They got a lot of players, a lot of playing time yesterday. It was really good to see. You got some young guys some playing time. I mean, honestly, bro, yesterday Jalen Wright he had 2,000 yards for his career, so good for him. Overall, man, you really can't complain. We got Missouri, Georgia, and Vandy coming up. It's a tough stretch these next couple games, man. Missouri's playing really good ball. They played Georgia really well yesterday. Georgia. I mean, right now they control the East.
Mhm.
And then Vandy. I know Chris is upset with Vandy, so I can see Tennessee going 2-1 or 1-2 in the next 3 weeks. I don't know, buddy.
I was
Step it up,
actually
huh?
just fixing to say that if you can go 2-1 in the next 3,
Yeah.
you consider that a positive for Tennessee.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even at 1-2, you can't look at it as a bad thing because of who you're playing.
Right. So
Well, hey, let me ask you a question, Dustin, because
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking about it. You guys have lost 2 SEC games, correct?
mhm.
So
Florida and Bama.
I'm just thinking. I think Georgia's going to play full speed with you guys because they
Well,
still got the SEC championship game to go, and I wasn't sure if maybe they would throttle back a little bit to save themselves for that, because you know what I'm saying. So I'm pretty sure because of it's a small possibility of getting 2 teams in the in the playoffs. I feel like Georgia still is going to have to play their best against you guys because it's not going to be an easy game because they're at your house.
And that's the thing. Do I think Tennessee has a legit shot? Maybe 10%. I mean, you can lose on it. Look at what Missouri did. You
Yeah,
know, at Georgia, Missouri played them really, really well.
they played solid.
Up until the very end, all the way to the very end of the ball game. So, I think Tennessee has a real good shot. Of course, I thought Tennessee had a good shot last year, and look what happened. Georgia blew them out. So, big game next week. Now Georgia, they're playing Ole Miss next week.
Yeah,
Ole Miss is playing really good ball.
really good ball, man. I forgot about that game. You're right. Yep.
Honestly, if Ole Miss can knock Georgia off and Tennessee happens to knock Georgia off, guess what? Tennessee then controls the East.
Yep.
Wouldn't Missouri control it at that point?
Well, you'd be
Take
right.
care of it next week.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Next week would determine that pecking order, right?
I was going to say, if Tennessee happens to beat Missouri, then Tennessee would control the East.
Yeah. So I kind of think the West is locked up. I think Alabama's going to win the West.
Yeah.
But I for a second I did forget about the Georgia and Ole Miss game, and of course you guys got to play Missouri. So technically speaking, the West is not settled. The East is not settled yet.
Right.
Neither is
Yeah.
the West.
Technically, no. The West, Chris, you mentioned it's not technically locked up. Sure, Alabama, they're in the driver's seat. They're looking really good.
But who do they have? Who does Alabama have rest of the year though?
Yeah. Bama can drop a couple games, and LSU can sneak in.
Hey, I asked, did you guys see what Matt did? I asked, who does
Sure did.
Alabama have for the rest of the year? And Matt held up his hand like they got Kentucky.
And they have Auburn, and anything can happen in the Auburn.
Yeah, anybody can help that.
I don't think Auburn beats them, but we've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alabama has, even if Auburn beats Alabama, Alabama still wins the West because they got the tiebreaker with Ole Miss.
If Ole Miss wins out and Bama drops a game, Ole Miss wins the West.
Yeah.
No,
They both
Yeah.
have one loss.
I know, but Alabama has the tiebreaker.
The one
Oh
loss.
yeah. I'm sorry. You're
Right.
Chris. Let me be. Here I
Two
am.
losses.
Here I am trying to debate the historian. Let me just be quiet. Hey, let me just stay in my lane, Chris. My dearest apologies. Okay.
So I got to pick on Dustin a little bit.
Okay.
What is it about Gator Country that has done so well for you? Your cheeks are a little bit puffy. You're smiling. You're happy. What's going on down there in Gator Country? Tell us the truth.
I'll be completely and totally honest with you. The sun shines every day. There are things to do down here. Dude, you see this beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
behind me. How can you not be happy when you're looking at this?
You can't. It's hard. Yeah.
My brother messaged me the other day, and he's like, "Dude, it's gray and 40," and I'm like, "Guess what? It's 81 and sunny here. I'll take that all day long."
For real. Yeah, you can't argue with that, man. That is and you guys right down there. You guys still in Tampa, correct?
Yeah. We're in
So that's you know what, Dustin?
And actually, dude, we're like 10 minutes away from Raymond James. So if the Vols happen to get a bowl game down here in Tampa, guess what?
Going.
Next door. That's right.
You know what, Dustin?
Nice.
Because none of us can be in Florida right now. I'm gonna do us all a favor.
Mike,
What?
I invited you.
Yeah.
I was like, guys, come on down.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can't beat it down here. Tampa is, it's great.
I tell you what, because you're too happy right now, I'm gonna do us all a favor, okay? And let's just mute Dustin for a second, okay? And let's just let him sit in reflection for a minute.
So I wanted to give Dustin heads up. We'll chat about this later on, but I will be in Mount Dora and Eustis December 21st through the 26th.
Okay, well, my butt will be in East Tennessee. Going to be freezing my butt off for Christmas. So yeah, I got to back up.
You guys are cross each other for sure.
Make them come south.
Trust me, wish they could.
Yeah, I wish they could too.
But you know what though? Like I said, I'm still representing boys right here in the middle of Central Florida.
I heard that. Why not? Take it with you.
Nice.
That's for sure. So the next ball game is the Arkansas and Florida game. Arkansas finally won in the swamp for the first time in school history, I think it was.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So happy for Arkansas. I'm happy that Florida lost. You boys know my hatred for the Gators. I'm so happy for Arkansas and Sam Pittman.
Yeah. Say good job.
And here's the thing: Florida needed that game. They
Yeah.
might not make it to a bowl.
That's true.
Yep.
Wow.
That's
They got a nasty schedule coming up. They got LSU. They got Missouri. It ain't a given for them to get in the bowl game yet.
it sure isn't.
Real quick.
It's the last game.
Andy, let me ask you this. A lot of people were talking regarding Missouri this year. Obviously because Brady Cook and Luther Burden. How does that make you feel that like Missouri's finally getting the respect that they deserve and being recognized as an SEC team?
Well, actually, I really like the hate because it just made us feel more, threatening. We were just kind of like they're thinking we were just a dead fish in the water, and then all of a sudden come back and bite them. I like that. It's a good feeling. I prefer that instead of being like the one expecting to win every single week. Like that's a lot of pressure. Why not just not have the pressure and then just end up winning a game? It's more fun.
But yeah, no, Chris, you're absolutely right, man. Florida, they needed that game really, really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it really did. Honestly, Pittman, honestly, saved his job. Man. Needed that. That was a big game, especially in the swamp.
Yeah. That game was that one was won on KJ's legs because that guy had some big runs.
The part I hate about it is it leaves one team winless in the SEC, and I don't like that.
Oh, that's true because Arkansas won. So now you guys are you guys are one of you guys are in your own class, man. Vandy is special. So they got to do.
And no longer can I aggravate Arkansas fans about having the most last place finishes since 2011. Because if we finish last this year, then we'll tie them.
Yeah.
What? Watch Tennessee drop it to Vandy. Golly, I'd be sick to my stomach, dude.
That would be horrible.
I'd be so sick to my stomach if they dropped it to Vandy, man.
If you guys don't beat us
Crazy
by
thing
56 points, I will be shocked.
Yeah, for real. That high
That's
power
where
offense.
I'm at.
For sure. So that's a good win for Arkansas for sure. I know George and I'm pretty sure Mike. Both of those guys are ecstatic about going down and getting that win, finally getting that monkey off his back. So congratulations to George and Mike on those wins as well. That's a big time win. But the rest of the year for Florida doesn't look like it's just going to be easy. So let's see if Florida can stay out of the bowl games for sure. But I mean, it's good for SEC football.
I hope they do.
Yeah,
I really hope they do.
They do. It took South Carolina. Our next game is South Carolina, Jacksonville State. It took South Carolina the whole ball game to beat these guys. So, but hey, Jacksonville State, they actually look like they're a pretty good team this year, and they actually went and played South Carolina pretty strong, and they actually outscored them in the fourth quarter. They came up short by 10, and
They actually led the game going into the fourth quarter.
yeah.
Yeah, South Carolina just needs to go ahead and let Shane Beamer go. He's awful. He's a terrible coach. I mean, I'm just being honest. They're one of the worst teams in the SEC. They're garbage. And Shane Beamer, he likes to blame everybody for his own calls, his own mistakes. He's a joke.
So now what I will say is you can see things with that South Carolina program. Yesterday, they had 19 guys out with injury.
So that's a lot, man.
That's a lot.
That's
I
a
don't care
lot.
who you are, that's a lot.
That's a lot, man.
The thing is, they remind me so much of Bobby Johnson's third year at Vanderbilt. Okay, and you're gonna see where I'm going here in a second. Bobby Johnson in his third year at Vanderbilt went 2-9. Of those 9 losses, 5 of them were by 5 points or less. One of them was by 1 point. They lost 3 by field goal. That's showing signs of being competitive.
Okay.
And that's the thing with the South Carolina team. They're competitive. They're not getting blown out in these games.
Right.
So what you're seeing is, yeah, they have all the injuries. They're playing all these other guys. That creates depth.
Yeah, it does. Which is going on. Yep.
That's the same issue that Georgia had earlier in the year.
Sure is.
The story is that they're going to start getting some of these guys back this week against us and next week. If they get all these guys back, they win this week, they win next week. Then you set up Clemson at Thanksgiving for a possible bowl game for South Carolina. That might get interesting down there.
It might be.
It might be.
Clemson looked good this week, though.
Yeah, Clemson did look good. They knocked off Notre Dame.
I was calling for Clemson to beat Notre Dame this week.
Yeah.
It would be very Shane Beamer and South Carolina like, and Dabo and Clemson like for South Carolina to beat them again.
Yep.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, that's just one of. I mean, I guess that's why they save it for the last game of the year, because that's when it's all on the line, and all you got to do is give me 48 minutes, 60 minutes, and it's over. So just go hard, for as hard as you could for that. Spencer Rattler, he threw for 399 yards yesterday. The guy's putting up some numbers week in and week out, man.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you do have to ask the question: what if he had a healthy team? What would South Carolina actually look like? And don't worry, when they play Kentucky, they're going to be at full strength.
I hope you guys blow them out.
I hope so, but it works out like that. Like most of their stars ain't played all year, and now they want to play against Kentucky. South Carolina, selfish, man. They are. So, but yeah, South Carolina got the win yesterday. That puts them at for the year. South Carolina is now 3-6. So, like I said, they got to win out. They got to win out to get a bowl for sure. And, they're actually 3-1. No, they're 3-1 in at home. So that's going to be interesting to actually see how they close out the year or not.
Might as well count that as 4-1 because Vanderbilt ain't going down there beating them.
Okay. I
hope Vanderbilt goes down there and just blows out Shane Beamer.
For real, that would be great.
Me too. That'd
I
be
would
great.
love it.
Yeah, that would be great.
I can be subjective.
Yeah,
exactly. Let's be real though; they've beaten Vanderbilt 57 million times in a row, so I don't expect it.
Okay, but this is a different year. You guys are a little bit more healthier than they are, I suppose. So let's see. I know, right? That is so true. Yep. Well, speaking of Vandy, you guys played Auburn yesterday, and it looked like you had a little meltdown yesterday.
So I want to show you guys a video, and I want you guys to tell me what you see.
Okay.
Watch the receiver in the end zone.
Up top.
Yes.
Yeah. Did he just quit? Hey, isn't that your ace receiver too, Shepard?
That's supposed
Will
to. Yeah,
Shepard.
that was Will Shepard.
Yeah.
If he didn't quit on that play, I don't know what quitting is.
He didn't even fight for the ball, dude.
None at all. He
Not
just
at
was.
all.
You know what I mean? Like that was a 50-50 ball.
Yep.
He should have brought that in.
There was no.
At least made an attempt.
He made no attempt to hand check and get position. He made no attempt to fight for the ball. Man, that's a direct reflection of the coaching staff.
I think if that was on Missouri's team with Brady Cook, he would probably go up there and grab the guy by the helmet and say, "What the frick are you doing, man? Get the ball." So that's Brady Cook for you, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh yeah.
So, do you want my honest opinion?
About Vandy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire the whole damn staff. I'm done. I'm done.
You have finally.
You cannot go 5-7 in year 2, get one game away from a bowl, and then regress so bad that you're not even competitive in a 9-game losing stretch to finish the season. It's unacceptable. In year 3, if you had a team that was competitive losing these games, I could give you some wiggle room, but you're not even competitive.
You guys did rush for 100 yards.
Oh, yay.
You guys, I wish Kenny was
Okay,
here.
we rushed for 100 yards, but the quarterback that started the game is 0-21 for his career in college.
Wow. At what point do you say this is probably not for you? I don't know.
Can you guys get James Franklin back?
Yeah.
That's my question.
The only
He
way
has been the best coach you guys have had in the past 20 years.
The only way we get him back is if Penn State fires him.
And it's just that's not happening because Penn
I
State
don't
is playing
see that
football. I know we're talking about SEC teams, but it's amazing how Penn State is having such a great year, but just completely flying under the radar. Like no one's talking about Penn State. Like Penn State.
They were until Ohio State beat the dog crap out of them. But
did it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they were actually, a lot of people were talking about them possibly being the Final Four of the college football playoff.
Yeah, that ain't happening no more.
Yeah, but then Ohio State just beat the dog crap out of them.
Yeah.
So.
And matter of fact, I don't care what Iowa's offense looks like.
Yeah,
They're 10 and they won yesterday 10-7. I don't care if it's 10-7.
no.
Yeah.
A win's a win.
Let me win a freaking ball game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like an Iowa score.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I mean, the thing about, and look, he should have never agreed. I can't think of the head coach's name up there at Iowa. He should have never agreed to a contract where his team had to score or average 25 points a game.
Oh yeah.
That's ignorant, man. That's crazy.
That's
That's
crazy,
wild.
man.
But let me go on here and say, Larry, Redding, Kenny, whatever you want to go by, congratulations on your win. Auburn is now 22, 21, and 2 against Vanderbilt lifetime. You finally got over that hump and got a winning record against Vanderbilt. Congratulations, sir.
Hey, and he's doing
Awesome.
he's doing Black Friday today, so work. So
It ain't Black Friday. I don't care.
well,
Not until the day after Thanksgiving.
I know, right? Exactly. I think that's what Chris. I think that's what I heard you say that too as well. So,
Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving.
So there you go,
All the
Kitty.
stores put their numbers in the black.
so to do your thing, man. That's for sure. So we'll see if Vandy can finish the year off with at least one more win. At least we'll see how that works out and everything. And our last game of the day is Kentucky and Mississippi State.
Well, hello, Facebook user.
Hello.
Unfortunately, I
Hi.
can't tell you who you are.
Not at all.
Okay,
If you
so
comment
real,
back and tell us who you are, hey, we'll shout you out, sir.
really quick, yeah. So my phone, like whenever I'll comment and stuff on the videos, my stuff has been saying Facebook user as well.
You have to give it permission.
You
I
actually have
already did.
you actually have to click on the video itself and not. So, like this is being shared on Second to None, you have to actually click on the video and go into the video for it to recognize your name.
Okay.
It's something I've wondered. It's
Gotcha.
one of them weird things.
One of them. Facebook being Facebook.
Yeah,
Yep.
for real, dude.
So Matt, what about this win against Mississippi State?
It's a win against a depleted Mississippi State team that their starting quarterback and their starting running back wasn't available to play. Kentucky ended up with 256 yards total offense, 110 yards rushing, and well, they're bowl eligible, but they've still got a lot of improvement to make. I mean, they're still not the season Kentucky wanted, but moving forward, they've got opportunities to get to 8 wins at least. I mean, Alabama's coming into Kroger Stadium next week, and it'd be nice to give them a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I just want those guys to be competitive. Like, just don't let Alabama come in and just. I mean, Alabama's Alabama, and we saw what they did against LSU last night. So we just gotta come to at least be, but even just pretend like you want to win the ball game. You know what I mean?
I tell you what, Devin Leary needs to throw as many yards as he did against Tennessee to give Kentucky to give them the competitiveness that. And at least 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, but you guys still lost though.
I know, but what I'm saying is. I'm just saying he needs to play like the way he did it.
You got to play good.
No,
He's got the first 6 games he didn't he hadn't played. I mean he didn't really do all that good. Last night he made some good throws, but I'm just saying Ray Davis has got to help him. Both him and Ray Davis have got to play good at the same time.
Yeah.
So my brother, he went up. When he went up to Kroger Stadium and watch him play Tennessee, and I was like, "That's an awful nice grocery store you got up there."
Yeah.
So I got to ask the question of Kentucky.
Okay.
What is going on at the quarterback spot?
He's hurt right now, but he'll be ready for Alabama.
Devin Leary will be.
Yeah.
Why isn't Destin Wade playing?
Because Devin Leary is the better quarterback.
No, he's talking about when he's talking about for the backup.
You played the backup yesterday, Chris Pierce or whatever his name.
I don't.
Why?
Sharon.
Yeah.
Sharon. Why isn't Wade playing?
I don't know. I thought about the same thing.
So may I offer a suggestion?
Okay. Don't tell him to leave.
Don't tell him to go to Vanderbilt.
Keaton, Destin, I'm begging you, please. Come home. They don't appreciate you up there in Kentucky. Come back to Nashville. Go to a school that's local to your family and make a difference. Come on down, Wade brothers. We need you in Nashville.
Well, his brother on defense is making a difference. So that's helping us. His name got called a few times last night. I think for Dustin, I think the point that Matt was making is not that we lost the ball game. I think he just wants Kentucky to be competitive like we was against Tennessee.
Busting his balls.
Yeah, I know. hey, and notice he used his words very carefully that we would be competitive. He didn't say so we could win. He just said let's just be competitive.
Well, look, I didn't get to. I've not been able to come on here for a few weeks. Moving and everything. Now that we're settled in and everything, so I didn't get an opportunity to kind of get on Matt a little bit about the Kentucky game. So.
Yeah, I know.
But we're back on now.
So how about this? Congratulations to Kentucky. You beat Mike Wright.
So, it's not. It's a win's a win. Kentucky should beat Mississippi State.
Yeah. Well,
that's just a win. A win. That's what they were supposed to do.
Mississippi
Kentucky's
State
the
is the worst team in the West.
Kentucky's the better team.
Hey, that
Chris?
completely went over your head.
Yeah. No. Man, what he was talking about is because Mike White beat us last year.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So
Congratulations, you beat Mike Reichenbach.
And it gave Mark Stoops his first road victory in the SEC against the SEC West.
Yeah.
In his
Speaking of Mark
Let's
Stoops,
go.
You guys had never beat a SEC West team on the road?
No, sitting Mark Stoops there in his 11th season starting.
speaking
Really?
of Mark Stoops, with what's going on at Iowa, Kentucky can have all the money they want in the world. Here's the problem. You just bumped his pay by $2 million 10 months ago. Without making the SEC championship game, you're not going to give him another raise for a 6-6 season. That's just not going to happen. When Iowa comes calling in January with that dump truck full of cash backed up to his house, you can kiss Mark Stoops goodbye because he's going home.
He's not going anywhere. He's in a better program. He ain't going home.
Iowa has been to 33 bowl games in the last 41 years. That's a far better program than Kentucky.
Well,
It ain't. Iowa has a better record. Iowa's not getting rid of their coach.
Matt, I don't know. Like I
Pay
said,
attention to what's going on this week, but the university president came out and forced Brian Ferentz to resign, and they've threatened Kirk Ferentz if he tries to keep him on as an offensive line coach that he's out the door too.
oh wow, that's pretty deep, man.
Yeah. It's not pretty what's going on at Iowa, and if they back up that dump truck to Mark Stoops, you can kiss him goodbye because he's going home.
He's gone, huh?
I
Well,
doubt Iowa can offer more money than Kentucky can. Kentucky's got a big boosters.
Real quick.
They're paying Kirk Ferentz $10 million a year.
wow. What's up, Dustin?
I was going to say real quick before we get out of here because I know we're kind of
Yeah.
running short for time.
Yeah.
In the SEC, who won the weekend? Player, team, whatever. Coach.
I think Georgia did.
Georgia won the weekend.
I think they did.
Do you think that Georgia?
I think Alabama.
You think by Alabama too.
Yeah.
Do you think by Georgia beating up on a very good Missouri team, you think that solidified them winning the weekend, and kind of solidifying them as one of the better teams in the country?
I actually think it did because everybody's been moving the bar on Georgia all year long. Well, they're not playing anybody, and when they play somebody good, and the talk all year has been, look out for Missouri because Missouri's built. They can beat Georgia. They've stepped up. They answered that call.
I got you.
I think that's a fair assessment that they won the weekend.
Indy, who won the weekend?
Yeah.
I think it was Alabama, man. Like, I was kind of like down on Alabama this year. I was like, man, they got no quarterback. They just don't look good. But they just went in there and they played their game. And I think they look like the best team in all the SEC. That's me personally. But
Yeah, Alabama looked good, man.
Alabama looked really good.
This is no shade on Missouri. I think Missouri's had an outstanding year, but I think with what LSU was playing for last night, I think Alabama went in there and says, look, not only are we going to beat you, but we're going to dominate pretty much the whole ball game. And, and I really feel like Alabama had the better weekend out of everybody. Just what Alabama was,
That's fair.
especially from week one until now. Hands down, Alabama is moving in. Alabama's playing Alabama football right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you
Matt,
guys
who won the
happen to? Did you guys happen to see the video of Nick Saban talking to Aaron Henderson last night after the game?
Didn't.
So Aaron Henderson was an Alabama recruit, and he transferred to LSU.
Okay.
And after the game, Nick Saban went up and was shaking his hand, and he said, "I can tell you, you'd be playing a whole lot more over here than you are over there."
Is it? It's a little tampering going on. Matt, who you think won the weekend?
I'd say Milroe from Alabama. He really played really well against LSU. 4 rushing touchdowns. I mean, Alabama's moving in the right direction. I mean, from where they started with their first loss of the year against Texas, I mean, they are definitely moving in the right direction. and I still say they're probably the team to beat in the West.
I
Yeah.
got you.
That's and what about you, Dustin?
So I'm going to go with KJ Jefferson, man, going in there getting the first win there in Florida. He played really good ball yesterday. Carried the team on his back.
Yep.
Man, give me KJ winning the weekend for me.
I think so too. And I think I mentioned that earlier. KJ carried those guys on his back when he had some really big runs.
Yeah.
And he took the game over with his feet, not even so much with his arms, but with his feet, and he won that ball game for him. So I can definitely agree with you on that for sure.
All right, next question. Who lost the weekend?
Is there any question?
Who lost the weekend for you, Chris?
I'm going to let everybody else go because mine's going to take me about 5 minutes.
All right,
Florida.
Indy,
Florida.
who lost the weekend?
I have to go with
there,
LSU,
what
man.
Matt said.
I-
LSU.
I got to go with LSU because I think LSU had so much riding on this ball game, and,
Yeah.
and I really think that they really wanted to get to that SEC West goal, and I think they just kind of fell flat. Did they play a good game? Absolutely, but at the end of the day, did LSU live up to the hype going into the ball game? No, I mean they didn't get it done, and it was right there for the taking for them. Considering nobody really gave Alabama a big shot per se, because Jaden's been playing so good. So I got to go with LSU is losing the weekend.
I got you. Me, I'm going with South Carolina, man.
Yeah.
South Carolina, they did not prove anything to me yesterday. Now, don't get me wrong, Jacksonville State, they're a good ball team. I'm not saying that. But they should have beat them way worse than what they did. I understand they're depleted. I get that. But South Carolina, man, they were expected to have an 8-4 season, 9-3 season.
Yeah.
And they're far from that.
Yeah, they sure are.
And yesterday, to me, that just showed that.
Yep. And it took the whole ball game for those guys to beat them too. It took them the whole ball game because Jacksonville State was playing them neck from neck.
Yeah.
Leary, Leary. I was going to call you Leary, man. I got Leary on my mind, baby. Indy, what about you? Who lost the weekend?
I'm going with Florida. Like that was a make or break, and they broke. So
Yeah.
I'm going with Florida.
That was it. Matt?
I'd have to go with Indy, Florida. You know, they, like I said, this might be their only chance to get bowl eligible, and because the remaining of their schedule is pretty brutal.
Pretty daunting, yeah. And they got to end with Florida State, so that ain't good.
Yeah.
But I mean, wild things have been done in big time rivalry games, so we'll see how it goes. Chris?
Finally, Andy Chris.
Yeah.
Who lost the weekend?
I don't think there's any question who lost the weekend. And let me go on record as saying that would be the Vanderbilt Commodores. Why do I say that? Auburn is beatable. That should be a team that you can play with and beat. And to come out and be not even competitive against them is inexcusable. Now, what we've seen this week, there's conspiracy theories floating around. Okay? We all know A.J. Swan got benched because he had a bruised elbow. But he's been available against Georgia. He didn't travel to Ole Miss, but he was available yesterday. So if he's available, why isn't he playing? So
He's transferring to Kentucky.
The theory is that he's either told the staff that he's going to transfer and the staff has decided to go in a different direction, or Clark Lee's trying to say that his bruised elbow was a season-ending injury and going to try and get him a medical redshirt. Conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
We also know that C.J. Taylor was available last week against Ole Miss. He was available yesterday. Did not play. Coach's decision in both games. Why are you not putting your best players on the field and acting like you want to win a football game? And then making statements. We decided to run it on 3rd and 20 and play for the punt rather than try to push the ball downfield and maybe cause a turnover.
Yep.
At least act like you're trying to win a freaking football game. That's a fireable offense, in my opinion. And I will not go back to a Vanderbilt football game until Clark Lee and the entire staff is fired.
Wow.
And let me be clear.
That is a hell of a statement, Chris.
And let me be clear. You're opening 2 brand new facilities in less than 1 year. Fan apathy is higher than it's ever been at Vanderbilt, and you can't open those facilities with the fan base being fractured the way it is.
Yep.
Get off your butt and do the right thing, Vanderbilt, and fix this mess.
Yeah.
And don't go get another Vanderbilt guy saying he knows how to win, because they've never won at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I'm tired of he's a Vanderbilt guy. He knows the culture and how to win in the SEC. No, he don't. Go get an outsider. So I did some research yesterday. Watson Brown lasted 4 seasons at Vanderbilt and was fired. He was a Vanderbilt guy. They brought in Jerry DiNardo from 2-9 to 5-6 in year 1. He had that team competitive. He was an outsider. I often wonder what would have happened had he stayed there. Then they hire Bobby Johnson. He got 7 years. He stayed there. He built it the way he saw fit. Yes, in year 3 he was 2-9, but 5 losses by 5 points or less. They were competitive in year 3. Then you bring in James Franklin. Year 1, he's in a bowl game. Derek Mason, year 3, 6-6, went to a bowl game. And then you bring in another Vanderbilt guy. Oh, he knows the culture. He knows how to win, what it takes to win at Vanderbilt. Well, guess what? He's not even competitive. That's twice we've hired a Vanderbilt guy, and they're not even competitive in year 3. Stop doing it. Go out and fix the stinking problem. Go get somebody like maybe Sean Elliott from Georgia State, who yesterday, after his team lost, went to the podium and said, guess what, guys? We got our ass kicked, and we're going to do better to fix it next week. You'll never see my team play like that again.
Gotta go get it, man.
And you, Chris, dude, you know what Sean Elliott is, what he's able to do. He come in Tennessee in Neyland Stadium and beat the dog crap out of Tennessee. The score was not what the game actually looked like.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Sean Elliott, if he got a little better talent, you never know what that man could do.
Yep, that's true.
Not only that, he was an interim coach at South Carolina for a little bit, and his first game he took a team with 17 walk-ons and won an SEC ball game.
Wow.
I mean,
Deep, man.
Go get somebody that can coach football and make this team better.
Well, there you have it, man. Vandy, go make some changes.
Yep.
You have to. But hey, guys, I just want to thank all you guys. Dustin, thanks for jumping on today in your beautiful sunshine weather.
I'm so glad to be back, fellas.
Thanks, man. We really appreciate it. Indy.
I'm really glad Dustin's back because I miss my little buddy.
Yeah. Indy,
I was actually checking out state high school football playoffs, thinking about Upper East Tennessee, and my friend Dustin up there, Gatlinburg Pittman, put it on the guys the other night.
Put it out there. Indy and Matt, thank you guys both for coming out, man. I really appreciate it. Chris, as always, thank you for gracing us with the show.
Hey,
and,
Michael.
Yeah, well, what's up?
Michael, one more thing. Earlier in the year, before football season started, Paul Feinbaum made a prediction that, like, if Alabama coming off an emotional victory off of the LSU, he said that Kentucky would have a legitimate shot to give Alabama a good game and might be able to pull off the upset. What do you take from that kind of a comment?
I mean, look at Chris. Well,
can I make a comment on this real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Dustin.
Do you think that Alabama team that was playing yesterday, do you think Kentucky really has a shot against them? I'm just curious.
Well, I think the whole gist of now. I got really excited about Georgia. I ain't going there this time. I love my so I'm not gonna go there this time. And Chris told me I was gonna eat my words. I think all I'm saying is it was a high profile game between Alabama and LSU. It was a lot of hard hitting. Will they take a step back and just say it's Kentucky and just kind of, find a way to win the ball game? Will Kentucky play motivated? I don't know. I'm hoping that Kentucky takes advantage of the beat up that Alabama took against LSU, the physicality of it, and hope that they able to come in and actually play a solid game and at least make it competitive, as what Chris is saying about his Vanderbilt. And at the end of the day, we bowl eligible. Some teams never be able to say that for a long time. So, AKA Chris. But I'll leave it at that. And thank you guys for
Let me address that question.
Okay.
Paul Feinbaum, if you remember, Paul Feinbaum said that when everybody was saying Devin Leary was the best transfer quarterback in America. Devin Leary ain't trash. I said what I said.
That's why he's got a winning record. But anyways,
that's why he got his team into the bowl. He is not
the best transfer quarterback in America.
Dane and Key, and a couple of Kentucky's wide receivers are starting to play like they should have played at the beginning of the year. And if we can get Ray Davis playing like he did the first 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
Let me check this.
Yeah.
Let me check this real quick. It'll take me just a second. Okay. I got to look at something.
I can only imagine what this guy's pulling up, man.
Okay. Playing like they should be playing. 1 catch for 22 yards. Barry Brown, take your butt back over to West Nashville and go play around.
I'm talking about Dane. I'm talking about Dane and Key the last 2 games.
Yeah, for real. But hey,
but you did say other receivers are playing like they're supposed to. He had 1 catch for 22 yards.
He rushed for 22 yards. He rushed. It was
Robinson. Then we'll take Tavion Robinson. But hey, man, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I'm Mike. This has been Second to None. Until next week, same time, same place, guys. Thank you. And go SEC. We're out, man. Thank you.
Go Cats.
Anchor down.